In this moment, heaven is very near to you. I am with you. The angels are with you. Your heart is not imagining this. Someone has spoken about you. Their voice shook. Their eyes filled with tears. They could not hide what they feel. You have wondered. Why now? Why you? Why with so much emotion? In this first part of the message, I will show you what happened inside this person, what changed in their heart, and what heaven wants you to know about it. This person did not start with courage. They started with fear. For a long time, they kept their feelings locked inside. They chose silence instead of truth, control instead of honesty. They told themselves, it's better if I say nothing. It will pass. They don't need to know. But the truth did not pass. It stayed. It grew. It pressed against the walls of their heart. They tried to distract themselves. They buried themselves in work, in noise, in other people, in old habits. But your name kept returning. Your energy kept returning. Your memories kept returning. They would hear a song and think of you. They would pass a place and feel you there. They would see your name or something that sounds like it, and their chest would tighten. They tried to push it away. They told themselves, it's nothing. It's in my head. I can ignore this. But heaven was already moving. Softly, quietly, firmly. An angel stood beside them, night after night, day after day, whispering, you cannot heal while you hide. You cannot move forward while you pretend. You cannot grow while your heart stays shut. So they began to feel heavy. They could not sleep well. Their mind played old scenes with you. Things said, things not said. Moments when they were cold. Moments when they were distant. Moments they wished they had held you longer. They replayed that time when you needed them. And they pulled away. They remembered the message you sent. The one they left unanswered. They remembered your eyes. How you looked at them. How you stayed present. Even when you were hurting. At that time, they thought you would always be there. They thought they had time. They thought they could come back later. Now they see. Later is not promised. Your heart is not a waiting room. This is why they became emotional. Because the weight of time finally hit them. The weight of what they did. And what they did not do. They did not open their heart in one moment. They opened it after many silent battles. They wrote messages. And deleted them. They typed your name. And erased it. They hovered over your contact. And locked their phone. Each time they stopped themselves. The pressure inside grew. The truth did not vanish. It sat there, waiting. The angels watched this. Not with anger, but with patience. With understanding. They knew this person was afraid. Afraid of rejection. Afraid of hurting you. Afraid of hearing what you really feel. They feared your honesty. Because your honesty would force them to be honest too. They feared seeing the pain in your eyes. Because they know, on some level, that they helped create it. Still, heaven is kind. Heaven does not shame. So life began to send small shocks. A conversation with a friend. A movie that feels too similar. A dream where they lose you. A sudden thought. What if I never speak my truth to them? That question did not leave. It followed them into the shower. Into their car. Into their bed. And then, there was a moment. It might seem small in the earthly realm. But in the spirit, it was huge. Their heart softened for just a second. The armor cracked. The mask slipped. An angel stepped closer. And pushed one truth deeper into their heart. You care more than you admit. Those words broke something open. They looked back at your presence. At your kindness. At the way you listened. At the way you saw them. Even when they were not proud of who they were. And they realized something. That shook them. I thought I was protecting myself. But I was actually losing them. This is when the tears began. Not in front of you. Not in front of others. But in private. Their pillow knows. Their shower knows. Their car seat knows. They cried for what they did not say. They cried for the times they dismissed you. They cried for the times they chose ego instead of tenderness. They cried because they finally saw you clearly. Not as an option. Not as a backup. Not as a passing person. But as a soul. a gift, a lesson. They remembered the way you smiled, even when you were tired, the way you supported them, even when you were struggling yourself. And slowly, another truth came. I did not appreciate them properly. This truth hurt. It burned. It humbled them, but it also purified them, because truth always cleans the heart, even when it stings. So why did they open their heart and talk about you? Because the pain of holding everything inside became heavier than the fear of speaking. They could not keep pretending. They could not keep acting like you did not matter. They could not keep telling themselves it was nothing. Their soul knew it was not nothing. Their soul knew you were important. They spoke about you because the angels pressed on their conscience. They spoke because your energy still touched them. They spoke because their heart wanted freedom. Sometimes they spoke to a friend. Sometimes they spoke to family. Sometimes they spoke to a stranger they unexpectedly trusted. They used words like, I messed up. I didn't know what to do. I still think about them. I don't know how to fix it. And as they said these words, the wall finally broke. Emotion rose, too fast to push down, too strong to hide. Their throat tightened. Their voice cracked. Tears came. They were not crying only over you. They were crying over the version of themselves that kept love at arm's length. They cried over the way they ran from intimacy, from softness, from truth. You were the mirror. You were the turning point. You were the moment their patterns became clear. This is what you must understand. Their emotional reaction is not proof that they are weak. It is proof that the mask no longer fits. They are changing. Slowly, unevenly, imperfectly, but truly. You are part of that change. Your role in their life was not empty, not random, not useless. Heaven used your presence to show them their own heart, to show them their own wounds, to show them their own capacity to love. And yes, to show them what they could lose if they stay closed. Dear child, you also need to hear this. None of this means you must wait for them. None of this means you must carry their pain. None of this means you must let them back in. Their tears are their healing. Their honesty is their path. Your healing is yours. But heaven did want you to know. You were not forgotten. You were not nothing to them. You were not easily replaced. They talked about you because they had to, for their soul to breathe again. You were the chapter they could not skip. You were the lesson they could not ignore. You are not crazy for feeling their pull. You are not crazy for sensing their sadness. You are sensitive. You are intuitive. You are spiritually aware. When their heart opened, your spirit felt it. Even from far away, you may have felt restless. You may have suddenly thought of them. You may have felt a wave of sadness or warmth, with no clear reason. That was the energy moving. That was the cord between you. That was heaven shifting the air around your connection. Right now, place a hand on your heart. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out gently. Say inside yourself, I do not carry what is not mine. I bless their healing. I choose my peace. The angels surround you as you say this. They surround them too. No one here is the enemy. Pain is the enemy. Fear is the enemy. Shame is the enemy. Love is the medicine. Truth is the medicine. Grace is the medicine. Dear child, this is where the first part of the message gently rests. Now we begin the second part of the message. Deeper, clearer, closer to your soul. The person who opened their heart about you did not just feel sad. They woke up. Something in them shifted, like a door that had been stuck for years, suddenly moving. Before this, they lived from their mind, from rules, from old beliefs. Don't be too soft. Don't show too much. Don't need anyone. Maybe they were taught that emotions are weakness, that tears are shameful, that feelings get you hurt. So they became strong on the outside, sharp when needed, distant when scared. They built a life, or at least the shape of one. But inside, something was missing. Then you appeared. You were not perfect. You were not always calm. You were not always right. But you were real. You felt deeply. You listened. You cared. You saw pieces of them. Others did not bother to see. You remembered little details. You asked how they really were. And when they tried to brush things off, you did not always accept it. You tried to reach deeper. This scared them, because you were touching wounds. They hid even from themselves. Still, their soul liked the way you saw them. Your presence felt like home and danger at the same time. Home, because their heart finally felt seen. Danger, because that level of truth could break their old defenses. So they did something human. They pushed you away. Or they stayed only halfway in. Half open, half closed, half present, half gone. They told themselves, I care, but I must protect myself. They thought distance was safety. They thought silence was control. But over time, they realized something bitter. Distance is not safety. Distance is loneliness. Silence is not control. Silence is regret. This realization did not come in one flash. Came slowly, flicker by flicker. The angels used your absence, your change in energy, your new boundaries. Perhaps you stopped chasing. Perhaps you stopped explaining. Perhaps you stopped giving chances that were never honored. Your shift was not punishment. It was protection. It was self-love. It was your own awakening. But from their side, felt like a loss, a real one. They noticed you were not as open. Not as available, not as quick to reply. First, they told themselves they did not care. They pretended it did not sting. But late at night, the truth came. I miss them. I miss what I had with them. I miss how safe I felt when they listened to me. This is when heaven stepped in stronger. Your guardian angel and theirs worked together, not to force love, not to force outcomes, but to push truth to the surface. So this person began to see patterns, not just with you, but with others. They remembered people they pushed away. When things got too real, they remembered times they walked out, before they could be left. They remembered doors they closed. Instead of having hard but honest talks, you were the mirror, but you were not the first wound. You were just the clearest one. So when they opened their heart and talked about you, they were not just telling a story. They were confessing a pattern. They were saying, to be honest, I keep doing this. I close off. I run. And I don't know how to stop. This is why the emotion came so strongly. They were grieving, not only the risk of losing you, but the cost of living this way, year after year. They were grieving all the connections that could have grown if they had been braver sooner. You need to hear this next part very clearly. You did not fail them. You did not break them. You did not cause their wounds. Their wounds are older. Their habits formed long before you. But you, dear child, you were the soul that made those wounds impossible to ignore. Your presence said, look at this. This pattern hurts both of us. This cannot continue. Even if you never said those words out loud. Your spirit did. Your boundaries did. Your tiredness did. When they talked about you and cried, they were honoring that truth. Even if they did not use spiritual words, they might have just said, I think I really hurt them. I wish I had done better. I didn't know how to handle someone like that. Someone like you, sensitive yet strong, soft yet firm, loving yet able to walk away. They are not used to that energy. It humbled them. It awakened them. Now, what does heaven want for you in all this? First, to free you from self-blame. You may have asked, was I too much? Was I too emotional? Was I wrong to care that deeply? The answer is no. Your love was not the problem. Their fear was the problem. You may have asked, did I imagine that they cared? Did I make everything up in my head? The answer again, no. Their words about you, their tears, their shaking voice, prove that they cared. They just did not know how to hold what they felt. You were real to them. You still are. But listen, this does not mean you must now go back. Drop your growth and wait at their door. The angels are not asking you to shrink, to fit their old comfort zone. The angels are asking you to stay in your truth, to stay in your self-respect, to stay in your light. You are allowed to forgive and still keep distance. You are allowed to feel compassion without putting yourself back in harm's way. You are allowed to care without making them your project. Their healing journey is theirs. Yours is yours. You can bless them without losing yourself. Now let us speak of possible paths. One path. They grow. They face themselves. They learn to speak from the heart. They come to you, not with excuses, but with ownership. I did this. I see it now. I am not asking you to forget. I am asking you to understand where I was and see where I am trying to go. If this happens, you will know. Your intuition will feel the difference. Their energy will feel steadier. Their words will be simpler. Their actions will match what they say. Another path. They grow quietly, far from you. They never say all that they feel to your face, but in their private moments, they bless you. They thank you. They change because of you. You may never hear the full story, but heaven does. Heaven sees the ripples you created in their life. And there is a path where they do not change much, where their tears are real, but their patterns remain. This is hard to accept, but it is possible. Some souls cry and still do not act. Some hearts open for a moment, then close again. If this is their path, you must not follow them back into the dark. You must keep walking toward the light. In every path, one thing stays the same. Your value does not change. Your worth does not change. Your beauty does not change. You were a blessing. You still are. The angels want you to take your power back. Not the power to control them. You never had that, and you do not need it. But the power to choose what you do now, what you accept, what you allow. You can say, I honor what they feel. I honor what I feel. And I still choose what is healthy for my soul. Now breathe again. Hand on your heart. Say, I release their guilt. I release my guilt. I keep the lesson. I keep my peace. Dear child, you have a tender heart. This is not a flaw. This is a gift. You feel deeply. You sense shifts in people. You pick up what others hide. You are not here to be numb. You are here to love wisely. Wise love is not blind. Wise love sees the wound and still protects itself. The angels are teaching you this now, through this whole experience. Why did someone open their heart and talk about you? Because your energy changed their life. Because your presence stayed with them. Because heaven pushed them toward truth. Why did they become emotional? Because truth hit their heart all at once. Because they finally saw what you truly were to them. Because they finally saw what fear had cost them. Let their tears mean something. Let them mark a turning point. But remember, the biggest turning point must be inside you. Choose not to chase. Choose not to beg. Choose not to make them your only source of love. You are already loved. By heaven. By the divine. By the angels. You are not alone. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. Right now, angels stand on both sides of you. Soft hands on your shoulders. They whisper, you are safe. You are guided. You are worthy of a love that does not run. If your heart agrees, if your soul feels this as truth, write amen where you are. Say amen out loud, or whisper it only inside. Amen means, so be it. I agree with heaven. When you say amen, you are not agreeing to wait. You are agreeing to heal. You are agreeing to grow. You are agreeing to be guided to what is truly meant for you. Dear child, walk forward now, not with bitterness, but with wisdom. Bless the one who spoke about you. Bless the tears they shed. Bless the lesson they helped carry to your door. And then, take my hand, and keep moving. Your story is not over. Your heart is not finished. Your love is not wasted. There are new connections ahead. New peace ahead. New joy ahead. I walk before you. I guard behind you. I stand beside you. You are not walking this path alone. Type amen if you trust angelic guidance. And let this be the moment. You release the past, honor the truth, and step into the next chapter of your life.